Good evening. No, it's not. Good evening. My name is Paul, K4PEW with the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Nothing heard. If there is any emergency or priority traffic, just jump in there and say break or help or an emergency or scream. We'll be happy to help you out if we can. The ideal way is to call 911 first, though, if you have to. And if you can't do that, you can call us. So you can break anytime. For information on this net, you can watch us right now on the YouTube. On either you can look at my call K4PEW, that's probably the easiest way, or the word Brain Trust, BRAINTRUSTS, one word, Brain Trusts in one word. And you can see us on our, let's see, we got the on our regular website, 146415.net, 146415.net, mysteriously like our frequency. And then also on the groups.io site, which is where we do our email distribution and people can ask questions or post issues. And that's on groups.io, GROUPS.India Oscar, and just do a search in their site for MJSS for Mount Juliet Simplex Society. Also, you can send me an email at k4pew@arrl.net. Got some announcements. We're going to move on that in a second. Purpose of that is to have fun. And really, that's the idea, is to have fun, hear other people on the air, hear who you can hear, and figure out how well your station operates, and so you can make a better station, bigger station, a well-heard station. It also is hears well. And a lot of people are doing that and have done that, including me. But ultimately, it's to have fun in the hobby. And ultimately, if we had to be of service to the community, we could be. Also have other, well, the announcements I guess I got to make now. I don't know if anybody has any, but we'll go from there. We have to do the, I've already told most people, but there won't be any more breakfast until we get rid of this mess that we got going on in the community, in the nation, and in the world. Can't even go outside, I don't think. But anyway, no breakfast until further notice, but I'm going to replace that with, we can do it every Saturday if you want, but just meet here on Saturday mornings, 8 o'clock for coffee with the Simplextons, 8 a.m. every Saturday if we can do it. Also, I'd like to offer that everybody can get up in here if they get bored at 8 o'clock every night, or anytime actually in the evening. But just to be here to be of support for everybody who is homebound. I never thought I'd say that on the air or anywhere, that everybody on the planet seems to be homebound. Also, we're going to do a new format tonight. We're going to try it. Let's do that. We'll see how it goes from there. Just to make it go a little quicker, and that's been a pet peeve of mine for a while. We drag it out, and it's all my fault since I run the net. And I know there's people who drop out or don't check in because of that. And so what we're going to do is, the first time around, we're just going to have a lightning round, as they say in the game show business. And that would be just taking check-ins from each of the areas, taking just quick check-in, and then we'll come back and ask for comments from each area if anybody wants to make comments, or maybe I can induce comments or insult people or whatever. And then as we go through that, and I'll do that again a little later, maybe at quarter after or 20 after or whatever, just to get a second time if there's late check-ins. And also we probably want to do, for those that are short on time or mobile, do it right at 8 o'clock. As soon as we start check-ins, take mobile check-ins, which some nets do that. And I think that's all I have for the moment. Appreciate all. We've got 99. That was another announcement. We have 99 people now on our distribution for the emails, which obviously the interest's been growing over the years. Some of the people aren't active, and some of the people are out away. Well, not anymore. They were away at college and things like that. But we do have a lot of interest in this group, and I guess I'm not shocked. It's become bigger than I ever suspected it would, simply because my intent, as I've said before, was I just wanted to start a net so I could talk to people here in Mount Juliet, and I ended up with Middle Tennessee, which is great. It's not what I expected to happen. But anyway, I appreciate all you guys, everybody who shows up. So anyway, let's start that. I guess we'll have a lightning round, and today we're starting from the south, and it is net number 572. And we also forgot to mention that we are following this net with the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net, and then following that will be the 2-meter upper sideband on 144.240.
Kilo Mike 4 November Yankee.
Hey, what's up there, Bill?
Everything.
Say that again, Bill.
Everything's fine here. I'll turn it on back to you.
All right, very good. Yeah, we're starting from the south. I got Bill in there first. Who else is south? I think I heard Earl, no, TYJ. I heard Jim in there, and I think I heard who did I hear in there? Who was that? KMV, Terry.
Yeah, K4 Cutie. Good evening, Paul, and the net. This is Harry, and good evening to all. No other traffic.
Okay, hold on a second. We're getting too many. I got Terry in there. It's KM4. I forgot your call. KM4 MPV. That's what it is. And I heard Terry in there.
Yeah, you did, Paul. And I'll just make it quick. Hope everybody makes it through this mess all right, and we have a vaccine come sooner than later. Get over this mess. But hello to everybody on that. Hope we're doing well. Right back over to you, Paul. KM4 MPV.
Yeah, very good, Terry. Also heard Harry in there. Kilo 4 Quebec November Delta. Now, who I heard in there?
Yeah, Roger that, Paul. Good evening, you and Annette. And don't have any traffic, but like he said, I'd be glad when this mess is over. Back to you, Paul.
Oh, yeah, very good. This is, I think that's Harry's first check-in. I talked to him earlier today, and he's down in Murfreesboro. And how did you get your antenna any higher, or is your signal just better?
Oh, yeah, it's better. It's a little better, Paul. You're better than you got a beam swinging around?
No, I don't. I've got that X700 diamond up there, and it's only up about 20 feet. It used to be up about 40 feet, but the tornado blew it down.
Oh, yeah, I'm about 20 feet, and that's about all I got. I appreciate it, Paul. 73.
All right, very good. Hang around. We've got lots more here. Anybody else from the south?
November, India.
Okay, I heard there was another station there, but I did hear Carl in there. November, India 4 Delta in, yeah, wherever you are. How you doing, Carl?
I'm still in Brentwood. One of the days between you and me, well, one of us will remember it, or maybe both at the same time. We're doing all right. We're just like everybody else. Went out and did the last grocery run. We're stocked up for a month. Just in case. They're saying it takes about 8 weeks. And I can fully expect, they got state of emergency here in Brentwood and Franklin now. We've kind of headed that lockdown direction. So I'll be, I guess, locked down, working from the house and doing everything from here except for what I'm getting groceries or whatever on occasion. Back to you.
Oh, I hear you. That was Carl in November 1 4 Delta, or November India, excuse me. I keep saying 1. November India 4 Delta in Brentwood. Who else was south? November 9. Who? It was a little double in there. Say it one more time.
Sure thing. November 9, Mike Victor Foxtrot. Sorry.
Ah, very good. November 9, Mike Victor Foxtrot. What's the first name then?
There's Ken, Kilo Echo November.
Where are you, Ken?
Just north of Noreen.
Ah, okay, very good. Have you checked in before?
Not on this end.
Ah, very good. Good to have you in there, Ken. I'll be back to you. We'll come back later. I want to get through the check-in. Anybody else south?
Kilo Mike 4 Tango Mike.
Kilo Mike 4 Tango Mike. That's Tom. He's also in, well, he's not also, but in Tom in Rockville. Good to have you in there. Nice talking to you earlier today, by the way, Tom.
Yep. Enjoyed that. Paul sure did. Thanks for picking me up. KM4TM. I am in Rockville in southwest Rutherford County, and don't really have any traffic at all. Just say good evening to everyone in the group. Hope everybody is staying afloat with all the chaos going on there. Back to that, Paul. KM4TM.
Yeah, very good, Tom, over in Rockville. He's also got a X700, but not super high like me. He's at 20 feet, I think it was, he said. Who else is south? Please come on.
If you give me Paul KM4TM, like Charlie, come back, Preston.
Hey, Preston, how are you? Yes, Jim, I did get you. I got Preston in there, and that's Charlie, Quebec. I forget your first part of the call there. You haven't checked in a while, Preston.
Yeah, it's been a minute or two. Good evening, Paul. Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec. Go.
Oh, that was going to be my guess, but I hate to guess because I'm often wrong. Yeah, we're good to have you in there, Preston. Yeah, we always, I can kind of remember when people miss the nets, but I don't keep track in that sense. It's not, like I said, we don't have to be here. There's no rules. Very good. Good to have you in there, Preston, from over there in Possum Trot. That's where it is, right?
What a memory. You've got one, man. I commend you for that one.
How can I forget Possum Trot? You sent me a picture of the sign. Anyway, who else is south?
W488.
Yeah, very good, Eddie. Eddie's over in Gladeville. Good to have you in there, Eddie. Let's go. Let's keep moving here. Who else is next south?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Hey, good to have you in there, Larry from Rockville. Great. You know, I was talking to, I asked Tom if he knows you, and he goes, no, he lives about a quarter mile from me.
Yeah, I can just about see his antenna.
Very good. Yeah, you have a better signal, but you got a tower and he doesn't. Anyway, that's Larry in Rockville. Who else is south? Over to the east then.
WA4ZHI.
Hey, very good. So you got to you quick, even though we started not in the east there. How you doing, James?
I'm just quick on the button.
Oh, I know. That's James. Whiskey Alpha 4, Zulu Hotel India here in Mount Juliet. Who else is east?
KI4SIB.
Hey, good to have you in there, Richard. Richard up near Lebanon. Excuse me, I keep saying that, and everybody laughs from Lebanon because it's Lebanon. There is no A in Lebanon. Who else is south? East, please come
in.
There's somebody else in there after Earl, but I got you in there, Earl. And, you know, there was another party in Noreen. Did you know him?
Yeah, I talked to him a week or so ago. We got tinkering around with D-Star Simplex.
Ah, cool. Glad to hear it. I'm glad. Kind of hard to find another D-Star partner in that part of the county, I'd imagine, but I'm glad you did. That's what I said. If I had D-Star, I'd be starting a Simplex net on D-Star. Who else? That was Earl, by the way, in Noreen. Who else east?
Whiskey 4, Mike Uniform Foxtrot.
Whiskey 4, Mike Uniform Foxtrot. Forgive me, your first name.
Used to be KN4LXH and the handler's Jimmy.
Well, that's what threw me. It threw me a curve there, Jimmy, because your voice, I said, well, maybe it's a different guy.
No, same old guy.
All right. Is that supposed to stand for maximum usable frequency?
It could stand for that, or anything, almost anything you can make up.
All right, very good. That's Jimmy. He's in Whiskey 4, Mike Uniform Foxtrot, throwing me a curve with a new vanity call. And he's here in Mount Juliet. Who else east? We had a double, but I think I heard Stan in there. Was that you, Stan? Hotel Quebec Echo? No? Who was the last person who checked in? Kilo Mike something? I could have been wrong. One more time. Anybody else east?
November 4,
I said November 4, Mike Alpha. Was that, who was the last letter?
Whiskey.
Oh, very good, Michael. I didn't, I couldn't hear you well. Are you on a different antenna or something?
No, I'm on the Courier ground plane. 50 watts out of the MTM 400.
Yeah, you're only about an S3 to me. I would expect that to be better from over there in Lebanon.
Well, my common HF antenna is leaning a little bit more. It's not, shall we say, it's not completely vertical anymore, so it could possibly be affecting the pattern heading west.
Ah, very good. Well, anyway, no, I got you in there now. There was a double in there that kind of messed me up, but good to have you in there, Michael. That's Michael, November 4, Mike Alpha Whiskey. He's in Lebanon. Who else was in there with from the east? I think it was, what was that again? KO4? Say the last again.
KO4 CBU. Kilo Oscar 4, Charlie Victor Uniform.
Ah, Charlie Victor Uniform. Okay, great. Give me your first name, please. I don't know if we've talked before or not.
No, sir, you're my first contact ever. I'm Steven.
Ah, did I hear Steven? Was that what's your name?
Yes, sir. That's Steven.
Very good, Steven. The first contact ever. That may be a first for our net. Let me turn up the volume just a little bit. Yeah, Steven. Where are you located, Steven? Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor Uniform. Where were you located?
Between Mount Juliet and Lebanon, off of Highway 109.
Ah, okay, very good. What kind of antenna are you using over there?
I'm using one of Ed's antennas. So out in California. bucks, put it in a piece of PVC. Talking to you on a little K2 FP65.
Oh, very good. You're talking about Ed Fong, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. He's quite the man. Did you buy it off of eBay?
I guess that's how he did it. I just logged on to his website.
Okay, well, very good. Hang on. I appreciate you checking in with us tonight on your first ever contact. I think that's a first for our net for somebody to have their first contact with us. But very good. And that's Stephen here in Mount Juliet, and it's over by 109 Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor uniform. Yep. Who else east? Anybody else east?
KB4 RSM Mobile.
KB4 RSM. How you doing there, Glenn?
Doing good. Thanks, Paul. How about you?
I'm doing great, but I'm going to move on so we can keep this lightning round going. Another one over there by 109. Who else is east?
How about north? K4WKU.
If I was going to head up there, K4WKU. We got Steve up there near Bowling Green. So how's my signal up there, Steve?
Not too bad today.
Yeah, very good. You sound good too. It's must be clear shot today because the other. Did you have a net this past Tuesday? Because I didn't hear anything.
Don't know about Tuesday. I was out of pocket. I was in Phoenix, but I had one Thursday night.
Okay, that's why I missed the Tuesday because either I couldn't hear it or they didn't do it. But I think it was because I couldn't hear it. Whoever's doing that control. Very good. That was Steve up there near north of Bowling Green. Who else is north? Anybody north or east?
WB0NLO.
Hey, how are you doing there, Mark? You doing okay up there near the weather station?
Doing well. Hanging in there. Continue on to the lightning round. I'll listen for you later.
All right, sounds good. Who else is north? It was Mark in North Wilson.
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo.
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo. Okay, I noticed on the lightning round people talk faster. Okay, Frank, I got you in there from Northwest Wilson. Who else north?
WE4E.
Hey, Danny. Good, Danny, up there in Hendersonville. I hope you're doing well. Hang on. Who else is north?
Contact.
Yeah, go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I want to pass over to WE4E. Hey, Danny, that tone we talked about on channel 16 of that service is 1109er, 110.9. That'll get you in. Okay, we'll talk more about that later. Paul, I have a quick comment for you, net related.
Yeah, go ahead.
Two things. First of all, your antenna being low has really done a number on your signal. It's dropped you down to 58 over. So far I've heard Harry in Murfreesboro, Ken in Noreen, and Stephen over there off 109, and what's Steve up there in Bowling Green was a squelch breaker. So back to net, WE4E. Thanks.
Cool, very good. Danny's hearing things pretty good up there in Hendersonville. And Alan, you can still check in from the north, or you want to check in from the west?
I clicked my heels twice. I'll wait for the west.
All right, very good. Who else north? Alan, you might as well go ahead.
Okay, W4EAC in Donaldson.
Yeah, very good. That's Alan and Donaldson. Whiskey 4 Echo Alpha Charlie. Good to have you in there, Alan. Who else is west?
KN4TJF.
KN4TJF. It's Rick over there in Ashland City with a decent signal tonight. Your signal sounds good. You haven't raised it any, have you?
No, just my expectations.
Just what?
My expectations.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, fake it till you make it. All right, very good. That was Rick in Ashland. Who else west?
KM4YRF.
KM4YRF. Very good. I got you in there, Michael. Hope you're taking notes on this in case you want to do a lightning round when you do yours. All right, very good. Who else is west? Please come in.
WY4G. Little turtles.
Okay, I got two of them in there. Hold on there, Don. Don't juggle turtles. And I got Jeff in there up in Madison. Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. Sounding good. Come back to you in a minute, Jeff. And Don over in Bon Aqua. Whiskey. It is Whiskey 4 Delta Juliet Tango. That's what it is.
No, November 4.
Yeah, I screwed it up. I'm sorry. I'm going too fast for myself. I'm talking faster than I can think. Good to have you in there, Don. We'll be back. Who else is west?
Whiskey Alpha 4 Victor Golf Zulu. Good evening, Paul.
Hey, Jim, I haven't heard you in a month of Sundays in a 29-day February.
Yeah, Roger. Technically a month of Saturdays. I've been pretty busy, but hopefully things have calmed down a little bit. Work a lot of Red Cross, and let me get out of here and let you get back to your lightning. Great to hear, everybody.
Yeah, very good. It's Jim. He's in Donaldson, Whiskey Alpha 4, Victor Golf Zulu. I haven't heard from him in a while, but I know he's out there and busy on the air and all kinds of other areas. Who else is West?
Katie for OEM, Mary.
Katie for OEM, Mary, and I'm sure that Marty's there as well. I check him in.
84 BQK, and back to Mary.
Very good. We have Mary and Marty, both in Belshire. It's KD for Oscar Echo Mike and KD for Bravo Quebec Kilo. Anybody else, West?
W4 AWE.
Yeah, we should have done this a long time ago, John. You're already number 32. How you doing?
Well, that's great. 32.
Well, we had 33 a couple of weeks ago when Mike was doing that, but he's probably more attractive than I am.
Yeah, you must have some kind of magic touch.
Yeah, I think so. Well, he also doesn't talk as much as I do, so he gets more of them in. They don't leave on him like they do with me. Well, all right, John. I got John in there from Bellevue, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. Who else, West?
KN4 ZBY.
KN4ZBY, and I've forgotten your first name.
It's Roger.
Ah, very good, Roger. I'm sorry. That call, for some reason, scrambles my brain. That ZBY. That was a good call, though. And it's Nashville, right?
Yes, sir. West Nashville.
Yeah, West Nashville. Gotcha. Very good. Who else? Good to have you in there, Roger. Who else is West? See, look at that. 22 minutes, 33 check-ins. Do we have any late check-ins for this first round?
Kilo 4 Oscar Fox Oscar.
Hey, Kilo 4 Oscar Fox Oscar. Remind me to just don't comment, but earlier you called out Tom answered, and I wasn't available to answer you, but I don't think you heard Tom.
I probably did. I've been a little changing around here. I like the lightning round back to net. That's all I got.
Well, you were number 34, Don. There's Don down in, he's actually in Hermitage, but he's on the east side of Percy Priest Lake, about 5 miles south of me. Anybody else? Where was I? Late check-ins. No more late check-ins.
Relay. Check in KG4WXU I-24 at Harding. He's out in the field, but no radio.
Aha. He's a silent check-in, like one of those silent auctions.
Pretty much, yes. His name is Jerry, as in Juliet.
Very good. We got Jerry as a relay in there. All right, very good. 35 so far. Anybody else late check-ins? And we'll move a little bit further here with comments or whatever.
AK4WU with 36.
Hey, good to have you in there. How you doing, Bill? 36 as it is. Boy, we just busted our record, I think. See what happens when we do things right. I'm glad I jumped on it. In fact, I overheard the conversation. I forget who said it now. He was talking to somebody else, and he said he liked the net, but it went too long. And I thought to myself, he's right, and I haven't done anything about it. But anyway, good to have you in there, Bill. Who else? Anybody else late check-ins before we move on?
W4DTC. David here in Gallatin.
Hey, David, good to have you in there. From Gallatin, that's Whiskey 4 Delta Tango Charlie. Anybody else late check-ins? Please come now. Well, very good. I think we got all the late check-ins, and I can't imagine having more than this, but I guess we do. It kind of shows that some people do listen, and they don't check in, and they just stay as long as they're able to. And we're already only 24 minutes into the net, so I feel kind of good about this change. I hope everyone else does. And I'm going to go ahead and start at the top. I don't think I have any comments myself other than what I said, but I think that there's going to be. I even saw a note in the somewhere, ARRL perhaps. You've seen an upsurge in ham license applications. I'm hoping we see more activity on the bands, including 2 meter, 70 centimeter, and up on the HF, down on the HF bands. Just because of this, because now we've got a lot of people, that are home a lot more than they used to be. It's going to drive everybody crazy if we don't do something. But anyway, I'm just going to run down the list. We had, if you have any comments or not, just tell me no, and we'll move on. I got Kilo Mike 4, or excuse me, Kilo November 4, November Yankee. Bill, you still in there? Moving on to KE4TYJ Jim down in what you call it? Watertown, not in Watertown, down in I can never think of that name when I want to. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you, Paul. This is Jim, KE4TYJ, near Woodbury, north of Woodbury. Good to hear everybody tonight. And seems like everybody's going to be practicing the social distancing, sheltering in place, and then us amateur radio operators, we pretty much got that figured out. We do that all the time, and sometimes pretty well. Went to the store today down to Murfreesboro, and it was an experience. They're rationing stuff over at the Walmarts and what have you, so just beware of that if you got to go out. One good thing, there is good cheap gas prices. We like that. And really ain't got much else going on until Sunday night. Got to go back to work. So it's one of them essential jobs. And let you take it and pick up the ball and run with it there, Paul, KE4TYJ.
Yeah, very good. That's Jim down in, what do you call it, Woodbury. I always want to forget that name. Not always, but often do. It's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. He's got a beam pointed in this direction. So there may be a few that don't hear him as well as I do, but he's generally got a great signal up here. Terry, you got anything else for the net? KM4 MPV.
Yeah, Paul. You, sorry I keyed up on you. I think you're keyed up with you. Just going to tell everybody again that be careful with this mess. It's pretty serious now, and I hope that you do get a vaccine soon. My son, I actually found out today he's home with a fever, and he works for the Rutherford County School Board maintenance, and they had them doing a lot of cleanup and stuff at those schools the past week or two there and stuff. And anybody that was in maintenance, no matter what their job was doing a lot of that kind of stuff. And hoping and praying that he doesn't have that. And they just made it today where the test is only available if you get admitted to the hospital now. They've changed it. And also, Murfreesboro will become one of the state emergency cities also this afternoon. So anyway, I hope things, I know they're going to get worse before they get better, but I hope we get an answer to this thing before too long, get it straightened out before it gets too many people. And wish the best for everybody. Keep everybody in prayers. Have a good one, everybody on that. KN4MPV.
Yeah, very good, Terry. You're right, though. It's a serious thing. In fact, Mount Juliet did not mandate closing anything. School, nothing. Now, the schools are closed. That's a county issue. But they didn't mandate closing any restaurants or stores. Now, some people would voluntarily do that. But what I thought would happen was, it didn't occur to me till later that if Mount Juliet didn't close their restaurants, that means Davidson County, which did close their bars and restaurants for the most part, with some exceptions, I guess, maybe takeout, people are going to come over here to have dinner. And that means the people over in Davidson County, which is about 1 million, so the odds of getting people over here who have problems are going to be greater. So anyway, I wouldn't advise going out to eat anywhere at this point. Anyway, we had, who else we have in there? Oh, Harry, Kilo for Quebec, November Delta. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, okay, Paul. Well, I want to remind everybody when you go to the gas station, don't isolate yourself from a novel. You know what I mean? That might be a good suggestion. How about that?
Oh, absolutely. You got to think about all of that stuff. And if you forget, you're going to have to wipe your steering wheel down and your handles on your door down and your shift lever, and you can't touch anything. And I guess you got to carry wipes with you all the time.
Okay, well, no other traffic, Paul. Thanks again for calling. 73, K4
Yeah, very good. That was Kilo for Quebec, November Delta. That's quarters, nickels, and dimes. You said that's Harry in Murfreesboro. And Carl, you still there? November India 4 Delta. And I know you're in Brentwood, okay?
Yeah, Paul, still here. Not really got much else to add. Just you're trying to get used to this idea of self-isolation. I imagine 8 weeks of this would drive anybody crazy. Turn it back over to you.
Well, I mentioned it one other time on the air. It's not going to kill us, but it's going to be difficult because you get cabin fever. When I was overseas in the Navy, long bouts at sea, and you go, after a while, you're like, you're just going to work. You'd rather work all day than and be busy rather than sitting around with nothing to do, so to speak. I mean, I think you work from home or you can. So, but yeah, you have to keep busy. You can still work in the yard. You can still work in the house. But then you got to go out and get supplies. So that creates another problem.
Yeah, it does. I think I've got enough leftover stuff from all the antenna and tower projects to where I'm stocked up on hardware. I could probably go in and go sling blade and repair a bunch of lawnmowers since I have a lawn service that's still actually mowing my yard right now. I don't know how long that'll last.
Oh, very good. Yeah, well, after this rain and then all that rain this spring, and then the sun comes out, my lawn's starting to look like getting bushy. I'm going to have to mow it the first nice day.
Yeah, I have to get my John Deere out, change the oil, and sharpen the blade. But we've had ours mowed once, and I was scared to death. They want to rip my radials out for my 160 inverted L. But had them stapled down close enough, and they cut it high enough to where it wasn't an issue. So pretty thankful for that.
Yeah, that's right. I definitely have the mower set up a notch, and as long as it can't suck up the wires through the draft on the mower, that'd be a real pity seeing that wire fly out the side of the mower. Well, very good. That was Carl. He's in Brentwood, and up next would be Ken if he's still there. November 9, Mike Victor Fox. Ken.
Good evening, good evening. I am still here for a moment. I have just been informed that my dinner is ready, so I'm not here for long. Hi. And 9MCS. Glad to hear you all this evening. 7-3.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Ken. That's Ken and Noreen. That's our second person from Noreen ever, I think, on the net. And his call is November 9, Mike Victor Fox. Right. Good to have you in there, Ken. Tom, you were Kilo Mike 4, Tango Mike. How you doing? You get that? And your antenna was the same as you got that X700, don't you?
Yep, sure do, Paul. KM410. Got the X700, but it's low to the ground. The bottom of it is only about 10 feet above the ground. I've got to get it up in the air. There's a lot of folks I'm not hearing, and I'm sure there's a lot that are not hearing me, but I'm just doing the best I can for right now. Being as it's 24 feet tall, the top of it is about 34 feet above the ground. So I want it back up at 100 feet on my tower where it belongs, but it may not ever get back up that high. I don't know, but we'll do the best we can. Hopefully the weather will straighten out a little bit. Won't be so daggum rainy and cold or whatever. So maybe with spring coming on, it'll stand a better chance of getting back up in the air. Okay, Paul, I want to say hello to everybody that's hearing me, and let's see, old Jim TYJ over there in Woodbury, he checks into a 75 meter net with us from time to time on 3834, and know him pretty well. And of course, over there, Harry up there in Murfreesboro, K4QND, I talk to him about every day. So good evening to him. And my neighbor I hadn't talked to in a long, long time, KE4SYV, Larry over here in Rockville with me. I could probably walk to his house in 10 minutes. He's very, very close. So anyway, thanks for letting me join the group, Paul, and we'll switch her back over to you. Thanks again, 73, KM410.
Yeah, very good. That was Tom. He becomes our, I forget, 12th or 13th person that's checked into the net who's got that X700 expensive antenna, the one you need a cosigner for. I think up next was KN4CCQ Preston. You still there, Preston?
Yep, KM4CCQ. Yep, still here, man. Hadn't been here in a while, Paul. Just sat down in front of the radio and noticed it was about 10 after 8 and turned the dial. Got in here. Appreciate you getting me in there, man. Like I said, I hadn't been there in a while. Just going to come in and say 73 and good evening to everybody on the net out there. We'll hold it up and I'll pass it back to you, sir.
Very good. Glad you're in there, Preston. That was Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec, and he's in Possum Trot over there somewhere. What is that, west? Is that west of Rockvale? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's pretty close to Larry and all the guys over here. It's in between Rockvale and Triune.
Very good. Appreciate you being in there, Preston. And next up was Eddie, Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-Ray in Gladeville. Eddie took off, I think. SYV, you still there, Larry?
Yeah, man, I got my toilet paper out cleaning off my push-to-talk button.
I think I'd spare the toilet paper, man. It's still being rationed out, I think.
Okay, get on with it, man. KE4SYV.
Yeah, very good. That was Larry and Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor in Rockville. James, Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. You still there, James?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, great. So now you're definitely homebound. You're not going out on the errands or anything, are you?
Yeah, I do it maybe once a day, something like that. And do a lot of just reading at home.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's not going to, going on for a long time is going to be the killer. I mean, it's good for a few days or a week, but and being kind of confined and avoiding people I'm not saying it's a problem, but I went over to Lowe's, and I was confirming an order on the door that we're putting in, and the guy had some trouble ordering the door, and I went over just to confirm some things, and as I said, and you got to finish, and we appreciate it. I said, appreciate it, and I started to, I automatically feel like I should shake his hand, and I just did it and walked away, and it felt like I was avoiding him.
What do you do now? Just wave?
I don't know. You can't even high five him. I guess you give him the thumbs up or the wave or I don't know what you do.
Yeah, just nod your head and smile.
I guess. You give him a salute. Just give him a regular salute. All right. Well, very good, James. I hope you're doing well. Like I said, we can always get on the air. I mean, more people are going to be listening than before, I'm sure. That was James here in Mount Juliet, Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel, India. Richard, you doing all right over there near Lebanon?
I pulled a marathon shopping spree today, and the sad part of it is I've got to go back and do it again tomorrow. And them that don't have toilet paper, flour, cornmeal, or antiseptic anything, out of luck. Or canned goods, canned vegetables. Don't look. You'll be sorely disappointed. Other than that, everything's just hunky dory fine. But y'all carry on. Thank you for what you do. And this is Zivers format for the net, but I don't know what I like it. Take care and catch you when I can. KI4SIB back to net.
I'm still willing to bet the first things that showed up missing on the shelves was Miss Debbie and Goo Goo Clusters.
Well, I got Milky Way and Third Musketeers. Does that count?
Oh, yeah. Really, what is left on the shelf? I haven't been in the last week.
Well, if you want cake mixes, you're in pretty good shape. Some meat is still available, not a whole lot. Soft drinks and beverages of that matter, not a whole lot of water left, but anything beyond that in the way of liquid stuff is still there to a point. I went to 3 stores, and each and every one of them was crammed full of people and crammed full of people stocking shelves. So they're trying their best to keep up, but it is very difficult, as you might imagine.
Well, the problem isn't the stock. The problem is that people are buying 2 or 3 times as much as they need. If they didn't buy 1 chicken, they bought 3 or 4. So I understand what they're doing. It's just not a good idea,
Well, and one store that I went to was limiting the number of cans of stuff you could buy to 4. So they were kind of self-policing them own selves. But the other 2 places I went didn't care if you bought half the store at one time, I don't guess.
Huh. Weird. I know we're just in a weird time, and hopefully it'll pass after a few days with people grabbing too much stuff because it's crazy. But I don't know. We'll get through it. We'll get through it somehow. I just hope that the virus dies on the vine here in the next week or so. But anyway, good to have you in there, Richard. That's Richard. He's just west of downtown Lebanon, Kilo, India 4 Sierra, India, Bravo. And Earl's up next. How you doing, Earl?
Doing pretty well, I guess. Trying to maintain proper control and stay in the navigational beacons and follow the rules.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we've got amateur radio because other people, I don't know what's going to happen to them. I guess the Netflix and subscriptions are going to go up, and the Prime on Amazon is going to go up. So I don't know. Good opportunity for them to raise their rates, huh?
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, price and demand and whatever. I kind of been liking to go to the grocery store and everything like that myself and get a few little odds and ends, but it's kind of like Richard said. I don't know if they have what I'm looking for. If I have to go, they gonna use a whole tank of gas to get what I'm looking for, and just little bitty nitpick stuff to keep from running out and whatnot. But I guess it is what it is. I talked to a guy, a daggone over the road dedicated Walmart 18-wheeler driver last night. You want to hear that story?
What did he have to say? Were people trying to stop him and grab stuff off his truck?
Well, kind of, sort of, but they got instead of driving 11 hours a day, they could drive 12 hours a day, and he's been one of his co-workers came down with the virus, so he's kind of self isolating or quarantining himself to the cab of his truck, and he gets all his information stuck on his window and whichever, like this, that, and other. And when they bust a seal on the trailer, they also have a padlock on there, so he's limiting his physical contact with when he delivers his stuff. I guess he just unlocks the door and opens it up and backs into the bay at the Walmart stores or whatever like that, and let the individuals that unload it to do what they need to do and whatnot. So anyway, and that's just one of those there truck drivers out there doing his job to make sure everything gets delivered. It ain't a thing if there's not stuff out there. It's just a matter of getting there when it's there, and it's kind of like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What time you want to go?
Yeah, we're gonna people who still have to work. They're having be a lot of issues you have to deal with, like that truck driver would, not touching things and avoiding people, and just I don't know, what a pain. It really is a pain. You wouldn't even want to check into a hotel. You wouldn't want to do anything. Well, very good, Earl. Yeah, I'm glad you had that encounter with the Walmart guy. He filled you in how difficult life can be on the road, huh?
Yeah. They said they got porta potties set up at the terminal and this, that, and other for them if they have to, do that kind of deal. But there's other alternatives as far as that. But he kind of mentioned, but it's kind of rough out there. It's kind of like I don't know, but anyway, it is what it is. I just thought I'd share that just in case it might be worth sharing or not to push anybody's panic button. But this guy was driving around in Texas.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, there's going to be a lot of issues and a lot of stories to be told of this thing, boy. I imagine there's going to be a lot of aggravated assaults in families. my brother and his wife, they still have 3 children at home. One of them's 19, the other one, 20, 18, and 10, plus his wife. And I just can't imagine. And he can't go anywhere because his company won't let him, and he's limited because he's had a heart transplant and has got an immune system problem because of the anti-rejection drugs, and so he can't go anywhere. It would drive me crazy. Well, very good. That was Earl. He's in Noreen, good signal, but I'm not sure everybody can hear him. He's in a kind of a low spot over there. Next up with Jimmy with the new call, Whiskey 4 Mike Uniform Foxtrot.
Oh, hey, Mr. Paul. Sort of, you caught me by surprise.
Ah, no, very good. What? Anyway, you just picked that out of the air, the MUF. I don't think that's not your initials for sure.
No, it's just I looked up available calls, and that was one of the first ones that popped up. I thought, hey, maximum usable frequency. I can deal with that, so that's what I picked.
Oh, good. That's it's a ham related call for sure. But everything, how's your antenna seem to be holding up? That copycat one.
Well, it's doing pretty good. I still haven't changed the height of it very much. I hope to get it up another 10 feet, but I may have to put some guy wires on it if I do that. So it'll be up about 20 or 25 feet, and I don't think that would be wisable to put it up that high without some guy wires on it.
Yeah, you're probably right. And I guarantee you, if it's windy, you'll need guide wires. Because just like on mine, I don't know if it would have helped if it was guide, because I don't know how big the winds were, but when it bends over an 1.5 inch pipe, or 1.25 inch pipe, excuse me, I'm pretty sure the winds were up above, I don't know what, 80 miles an hour?
Yeah, I'm sure they were. I decided not to put my tower back up. I took it down, and the base was unstable.
and I had to pull the base out of the ground. Matter of fact, I used the tower to pull the base out of the ground, and I had to break up the concrete because obviously nobody's going to haul a huge chunk of concrete out, away from me. So I had to break up the concrete into chunks that I could take to the Wilson County landfill and dump there. So I'm going to put up a 40-foot push-up mast here in the next 2 or 3 days, and I'm going to put a hex beam for HF on top of it.
Oh, good. Well, you created more work for yourself that way, didn't you?
Well, I would have to poured a new base for the tower, and the people I've been talking to are talking like 3 foot by 3 foot by 5 feet deep, and I realized, holy mackerel! I know how hard I had to work to get the current base out of the ground and break that up into pieces that I could dispose of. I can't imagine having to one day to actually pull that thing out of the ground.
No, I don't think you're gonna. I don't know why you'd want to at that point. 3 foot by 3 foot by 5 foot. That's 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 9. That's 27 cubic feet of concrete, not including the steel.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it'd be almost impossible to get out of the ground. And someday after I leave this earth, the house is going to be sold or taken over by the bank or whatever. I don't know how they're going to feel about that big chunk of concrete in the ground.
And that's about 27 cubic feet would be about somewhere between 50 and 60 pounds per cubic foot. So you figure 50 times 27. There's over 1,000 pounds of concrete there.
Yeah, at least I figured it would be about 180-pound bags, 180-pound bags of mix.
Oh yeah, boy. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. I know we put up that we poured concrete there for Robin up at his site for 3 different towers, and it was quite a task pouring all that concrete. Actually, just doing the bags and putting them in the mixers and doing that. It's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work. All right, well, very good, Jimmy. I'm glad you're making progress, and it sounds like you're creating work for yourself. But it is what it is. It's a hobby, and obviously there's work involved. Anyway, I appreciate you being there, Jimmy. That's Whiskey for Mike, Uniform Foxtrot, up near the north of the high school, near Lebanon Road, here in Mount Juliet. Michael, you still there? N4MAW? I think Michael took off. I heard Kilo Stephen up there. Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor Quebec. You still there? The first time check-in?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Fantastic. What got you into ham radio?
Well, when I was a kid, and that's a long time ago, my dad was a ham radio operator. He said, "You want to get your license?" I said, "Well, sure, I'd like to do that." So, I was 7 or 10, I don't know. I never could answer the code, and so I bombed that. But after I retired, I started listening to the shortwave, and then somehow or another came across the fact that code was no longer required. I said, "Well, now, okay, I can take a test." So I did that, and I'm alive.
Yeah, absolutely. You're a little lighter on the signal. I don't know if you need to step up to the mic or conditions have changed, but I forgot. I didn't write down where you were. Where are you located, Steve?
About a mile north of Lebanon Road on Highway 109.
Okay, very good. No, you just obviously a better antenna. I don't know how high up is your antenna.
Oh, it's just over the wood fence.
Ah, that's why it's so low antenna and in a low audio. That's what I get for. But yeah, if you can get that up higher, that'd be great. Get it up 10, 20, however high you can afford to get it. That's the key. Like I did to get mine up, I mounted a mast to the chimney and put it up as high as I could. That's the way I got my signal out. But I'm already in a fairly good elevation. But that's what you need to do is get that up as high as you can.
Yeah, I got an HOA situation, so I'm looking for unobtrusive ways to do that.
Yeah, if you need some advice or help on that, let somebody know or take a picture of what your yard or because sometimes you can. I've seen guys with HOAs. They'll take a relatively small vertical, like a 5/8 wave or maybe a little better than that wave, and they mount it on the back of their house, like say to a vent pipe, on the plumbing vent pipe on the back of the roof, and it's usually nobody ever even notice anything. It just looks like a piece of wire sticking up.
Okay, I'll look into that possibility. Thanks.
Yeah, very good. Or even if you could get, I don't know, is it a single story home?
No, it's a two-story. I'm not much getting up on that second story, I'm gonna tell you.
Well, then if you can, it would, with a two-story house, getting up a reasonably good antenna up in the attic could be a big help.
Okay, that's a thought. Thanks.
Well, very good. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Did I add you to the mailing list? I couldn't have, since is your email good on QRZ?
I may not be on QRZ yet. I just got on the federal database yesterday.
Well, you can do me this then. Send me an email if you don't want to give me your email over the air. You just send it to me there at my call, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey at ARRL.net.
Okay, will do. Thanks.
All right, very good. That was first timer. Well, he's been on the air now twice with us, but that was Stephen at Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor Uniform over by 109. Glenn, are you still there? RSM?
Yeah, I'm here, Paul. Just sitting at the house practicing my social distancing.
Yeah, well, we couldn't get any more distance. What are you going to do now in all situations? That's the key question. You just stand there, what? You put your hands in your pockets so you don't mistakenly reach out and touch somebody?
I guess that's the plan. I don't know. I'm trying to go by the rules, but for a while I really wasn't, because I just, I figured I didn't want to live in fear or whatnot. But, then they start talking about, well, you could get it and affect other people and not know it. So I've been trying to play by the rules.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to believe when I see pictures on TV of empty New York City streets and empty all over the place, and you go, really? Even, France has closed everything, Spain's closed everything. It's like we live in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, you're right there. It's interesting times for sure. Hopefully this thing will run its course and pass and get on out of here is what I'm hoping.
Well, to put it in perspective, anybody who wants to verify what I'm going to say, just look it up. Spanish flu killed somewhere between 50 and 100 million people around the world in 1918.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, yeah, you do have to put things in perspective, and that's all good, and that's what I was doing early on. But I think it's just the fear of the unknown and the fear driving people to all this caution, and maybe that's going to turn out to be a good thing.
It seems like if it goes on too long, it's going to change us a little bit in how we do things. I think it's going to change our whole perspective of being cautious. One of the things I noticed some years ago, now I'm 70, and when my youngest son, who's 35 now, when he was in high school, and I don't remember when the first time I was there, but I noticed during the school day I went into high school, and I saw students, girls and boys, when they saw each other in the hallway, they'd hug and they'd kiss, and I'm like, okay, I like hugging and kissing girls too when I was young, but I never kissed people casually, nor did I hug them casually. They were my friends. I mean, I might tackle one of my boyhood friends, but I ain't going to be kissing and hugging no girls. But that goes on routinely in schools now.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When I started church where I go now, there's a lot of that goes on when you get there. It's very friendly, and there's a lot of hugging and whatnot going on, and all of that, of course, has changed now. And again, hopefully, it'll just be for the short term.
Maybe we need to be like one of those discount antennas. We just get a 6 foot thing we put over our bodies, and it keeps everybody to 6 foot length.
There you go. It's kind of like one of those dog cones that go around their head.
Yeah, that'd be quite an image, wouldn't everybody walking around with some kind of a protective, I think it was Mark who told me earlier in the week that he said he was taking wipes with him when he went to take his wife to the doctor in Nashville. He's wiping down all the buttons on the elevator and whatever knobs and door handles. And I said, man, I'm going to get me a hook and a maybe a pool cue. And that's what I'm not going to touch anything.
There you go. Yeah, I think I'll start working on design for that cone now. You might be on something.
I don't know if I am, but my gosh. All right, well, very good. Good to have you in there, Glenn. I mean, I know you missed some nights, but I know you're a busy guy. Kilo Bravo 4 Romeo Sierra Mike. He's here in Wilson County, or actually in Mount Juliet over at 109. Near 40, that was Glenn. And Steve, K4WK, you still there, Steve? Yeah, Steve's up in Kentucky. He probably had to move on. WB0NOO, you still there, Mark?
Yep, I'm still here, Paul. Yep. Oh, hang on. That'll drive me nuts. Now I got you muted. Anyway, doing well. Got my shack back together. Got all the dust bunnies gone, and replaced a lot of small wiring, and got a lot of stuff done today.
Yeah, very good. I mean, after I talked to you about that, remember I told you you need a stick. What I want to do is get a pool cue and put a hook on one end so you can open doors, and then just a pool cue for hitting elevator buttons.
Yeah. It's a sad state of affairs we've gotten ourselves into, I guess, but here we are. So I know when the first time I met the doc, we shook hands. The day of surgery, when he came out to talk to me, we did a fist bump, and then just last Wednesday when we met for a follow up, we did a Vulcan salute.
As long as he doesn't give you that Vulcan, stunning method with your shoulder.
Oh no, the Spock death grip. Yeah, my kids remember the Spock death grip. That was what I did to them when they were acting up.
Oh yeah, that hurts too.
Yep. But anyway, everything's going fine. My daughter, who has the restaurant up in East Nashville, is they're doing all carryouts, and they had never really done carryouts before, but they got their stuff together and been pretty busy, so they're happy.
Oh, good. I'm glad somebody's doing well with a restaurant business. I didn't know how that would go with people just using takeout, because I don't think the risk in that case, if there is a risk, and I'm not suggesting there is getting takeout as much. Well, it's like anything. If you go somewhere, you don't have any idea who's touched your plate or your food, and I guess that's the risk I'm thinking about. It's the fact that we're eating food that's not prepared. My home, I don't think either my wife or I are infected, so I'm pretty sure our food's okay. I just don't know who else touches things when I go to a restaurant takeout.
Oh yeah, yep. I'm pretending like I'm Howie Mandel, being a germaphobe, but so far so good. I was lucky. I managed to get I order supplies from Walmart because I don't want to load them up in the car. And before all this started, I put in one of my my bi-monthly orders for the routine stuff. So it came and everything was normal, and then all hell broke loose.
Yeah, I gotcha. I probably need to move on quickly. But Mark, good to have you in there. Frank, you still there? I probably need to move pretty quickly because here we are at 9 o'clock and we've not dragged it out, but let's see. Move this quick. Frank, by the way, Mark, good to have you in there. Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar. I wanted to make sure we get to the buy-sell thing and then the 2-meter net on sideband. Frank, you still there and got any quick things for the net?
I'm still here, Paul. Good evening to you and everybody else. What the new guy needs is a good J-pole in the attic, like I have.
Well, yeah. Again, if you've got a good J-pole and you've got a nice height, that elevation is so key. It's not that J-poles are so bad. It's just that when they're in the attic in a single-family home, they don't work that good.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. No, I'm lucky. I was just looking at it today because I was messing around with my antenna. It is higher than I thought. It's over 30 feet off the ground. I didn't realize it was that high. So I guess that's what's helping.
Oh, absolutely. You got a great signal. Well, appreciate it, Frank. I appreciate you being in there. That's Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo. Danny, you got anything else for the net?
I think I was premature earlier. I didn't realize you were coming around a second time, so I apologize for that. But no, other than heard some good signals tonight. Harry was S6 up here from Murfreesboro, so that was kind of a nice change of pace. So I don't think I have anything else relevant other than to note that I did get my my penetrator put back together, and it is up. So looking forward to maybe trying that out tomorrow night, and then I have some trivia about that thing that maybe I can get into tomorrow. So other than that, I'll let you move along. Thanks, Paul. WE4E back in it.
Very good. That was Danny Whiskey Echo for Whiskey 4 Echo in Hendersonville with his super penetrator SPT. Sounds like something that Ronco sells. That is the most unwieldy antenna to put up on the planet. It's got 16 feet of radials, 8 feet in all directions. Alan, you still there? I think Alan took off on us. That was Whiskey 4 Echo Alpha Charlie. He's there in Donaldson. Rick, you still there? KN4 TJF.
You rang?
Oh, yeah. How you doing, Alan?
That's all on the bench. It takes me a little time to get up and walk across 15 feet.
Or crawl or whatever it takes, huh?
Well, if conditions worsen, so far I guess everything, it looks good here. No elevated temps that I know of, and the dog's doing well too. So that goes.
Oh yeah, no question about it. I just like I said, we're going through some. I don't know. Just as far as I'm concerned, hanging out and talking and keeping as normal as possible is the answer, rather than getting all worried about getting out. And you can't go to theaters because they're all closed now. So I don't know. There's a lot of things that are just we won't have access to anymore, and you're going to get tired of going buying gas.
This is true. Well, if I knew about this coming, I would have purchased probably a couple, at least a dozen breedable parakeets. And I would have told people that after you touch the parakeet, if it dies within 24 hours, that you've got an issue. You need to go see the medical doctor, but no such luck.
Well, my parakeets, I got 3 of them. They're all still living, so I'm pretty sure we're in good shape. Well, very good, Alan. Good to have you in there. You got a great signal as always. That's Alan. He's in Donaldson. And Rick, KN4 TJF, jumped right over you there. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Hi above Ashland City. I'm doing good. Everybody doing okay?
Oh yeah, good. You got a good solid audio and a good solid S3 here into my station.
Oh, thanks. That's good, man. You sound great. I've heard some places, Possum Trot. I heard him in there. I can't remember the name. I could hear Richard tonight fairly well. My brother, he's just kind of like in and out. I can't really hear him too well anymore. But I heard some people I haven't been able to hear lately. I could hear Earl for sure.
Yeah, I get the impression that signals are. Conditions are a little better tonight. But it's nice that you could hear Richard, and also down in that. Yeah, CCQ hadn't been in here in a while, and that's probably why you didn't recognize him before. That's KN4 CCQ Preston over in Possum Trot. Yeah, but it's good. When you get that antenna up, you said you were going to get that 2 meter up a little higher, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping to get maybe another 10 foot, Paul. That's my hope, and I believe there's enough left on the push-up for that. Of course, I had to put some guys on it, but that's no problem.
I got you. Well, that'll be cool. The higher, the better, as you know. Just more precarious with getting it up there and holding it up there. Well, very good. Good to have you in there, Rick. That's Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot, and he's in Ashland City. And Michael, Rick's brother's in there, KM4 YRF. You still there, Michael?
I'm still here, Paul, and I just wanted to give a big shout out to Glenn. I went over to his house today and picked up that Squalo 6 meter antenna, and I'm going to try to get it put up tomorrow. Other than that, I don't have anything else, so I'll say 73s, everyone is back to that.
Very good. I might have got that number wrong. I think it might be just 36, not 37, if you've been keeping track.
I am, and you're right.
No, I did. I counted somebody twice. I saw it later. Very good. That was Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's in Belshire. Jeff, Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. You didn't fall asleep yet, did you?
WY4G, no, not yet. Just center my eyes getting heavy, but my eyelids getting heavy, but I'm still here. Good evening to you and Alan and everyone else. So listen to the comments. It is what it is. So just something we got to deal with, I guess.
Oh yeah, we'll be fine. It's just got to find ways to entertain yourself. Do some more reading. Do some more research. Do some more hobbies. Stay on the air. I guess that's the answer. Anyway, very good, Jeff. Appreciate you being there. That's Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf, and Jeff is in Madison. What a great signal. Don, you still there, Don? I hope you're feeling better. November 4 Delta Juliet Tango.
Yeah, good morning, Paul. November 4
Delta Juliet Tango. I'm slowly feeling better. Just, the ribs are bugging me, and I'm self-quarantined and don't have the virus, I don't think, so that's good. I don't have fever, nothing like that, just some lung, upper respiratory baloney. But I'm just sitting here surfing the internet, thinking about what radio equipment I'm going to buy with my quote-unquote stimulus money. And that's about all I got. Packed in that.
Yeah, it's just like asking, it's almost like giving cash to a alcoholic, man. It's just adding more trouble if we give a ham money.
I don't give them alcoholics money. When I used to go on business trips to fly a lot, I used to collect those little airline bottles. I kept about 20 or 30 of them in the glove box. So when one of those guys would stop in the car and beg for change, I just hand them the bottle and cut down the middleman.
That would do it. I guess since it's a gift, it's legal. You can give people alcohol on the street. Why not?
Yeah, right. Not if they're going to turn me in or anything.
No, they're not going to turn you in. Well, very good, Don. I think you got most of your antenna work done, though, didn't you, before you got laid up?
Yeah, it's all done. I just got to work on the VHF, UHF towers, but I'm going to attempt to see how I feel. It's supposed to just, like I said, the lung function is pretty good, but it's the ribs that are literally the pain. But if I can gather up enough winds, I'm going to go out and get the stuff cleaned out of around the tower in the backyard, and I'm going to have lawnmower guys here soon. One nice day, they're going to show up and want to mow, and I got to have that stuff out of the backyard.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You know the story. I've had several occasions with broken ribs, so I know the feeling very well. It's not comfortable at all. In fact, it's one of the most painful things there is when it first happens. For the first few days, you don't want to sneeze, cough, sit, stand, move, laugh, or even get out of bed.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it goes, man. I just sleeping's uncomfortable. I move from the bed to the sofa, and then during the day, I'm in this chair for about 30 to 40 minutes max. And I go lay down on the sofa for about 30 or 40 minutes. And I get uncomfortable there, and I come back in here. Rinse and repeat. Just call me shampoo.
All right, very good. That was Don. November 4, Delta Juliet Tango, overcoming some infections, but not related to well, he said we know of. I think he'd know that, but not related to the virus he's talking about. And he finished a whole bunch of tower work, and that's November 4, Delta Juliet Tango in Bon Aqua. Jim, are you still there? Whiskey Alpha 4, Victor Golf Zulu.
Yeah, Roger Paul, still here monitoring and enjoying that. Thank you much, and we'll catch you later. W84B, cheesy.
Yeah, very good, Jim. Keep up the good work on your end of the Red Cross / AWRL support. That's Jim. He's in Donaldson. Whiskey Alpha 4, Victor Golf Zulu. Who had I had? Oh yeah, Mary. I had. Never mind. It looks like I wrote Marty, but I did write Marty. You still there, Mary? I think they took off. That was Mary and Marty, KD4 OEM and KD4 BQK in Belshire. They're welcome to come back if they can hear me. John, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo.
Hey, how's it going? Well, if everything else stays, I hope this curve on this virus does okay. But there's a really good documentary, really well done. It's about 40 minutes of the 1918 pandemic that's on YouTube, and boy, it is sobering to see what happened, because once they finally got over it, it came right back.
Yeah, that's what I remember hearing about. Obviously I wasn't around, but I remember hearing it came back again. And can you imagine 50 million? Now, I'm not suggesting, and I don't think anybody else is, that this virus is going to do that, because we have much better communication and we've taken steps to mitigate the problem, and we've got better health care, I hope.
Yeah, and the other thing, at that time, they made a cascading number of mistakes where, there was early in the onset of it, a lot of it was related to the military, because World War I was going on, and we had a lot of troops and basic training. And in fact, that's where it started in Kansas from a farm. There were a bunch of farm boys that went to a basic training camp, and then it all spread from there. But like in Philadelphia, they had a huge problem where the public health people, said we've got to shut down the city for at least a couple of weeks, and the politicians went, no, we're not going to do that, and man, it almost wiped them out.
Yeah, well, it's unbelievable how susceptible. Well, again, we don't realize how fragile we are until this kind of thing comes along.
And the other thing, back then, they did not even know what a virus was.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't think they knew bacteria until the late 1800s, wasn't it?
Well, they were just getting into figuring out treating bacterial infections, and aspirin had just come on the market, I think about a year before that pandemic. And as it turned out, if you sort of overdose on NSAIDs, it tends to make your lungs collapse much quicker. And they said, the final total they're guessing was probably more like 75 million who died. And in the last round of it, a lot of it was due to people overdosing on aspirin, trying to get the fever down, and it made their lungs fill up with fluid quicker.
Oh boy. But yeah, I saw the numbers I saw, they're not sure, but they said somewhere between 50 and 100 million. They don't really know.
Yeah, so, it's just, when those things are brand new, the body has absolutely no defenses, which this one seems to be tricky because the more they're looking at it, they're not quite sure how it's really spreading. I mean, they know it's working, through the normal sneezing and that kind of thing, but it seems to be spreading rapidly in other ways as well.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are still kind of up in the air. They're not sure of a lot of things, but it's hard to be sure if you've never had that one before. Yeah, I noticed that they're using that over there at that big. They're using the big monster computers, the supercomputers, to try to resolve some of that. I guess I don't know if that solves the problem, but it certainly does help to have those kind of assets. Well, let me run on here, John. I was John Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo over in Bellevue. Good signal. And it was like KN4ZGY. Roger, are you still there?
Yes, sir. KN4ZGY, still here.
Yeah, you doing all right over there in Nashville? You how far? Where are you in West Nashville in relation to where that tornado started?
Man, I'll tell you what. It hit John C. Tune, which is about a couple of miles northeast of me. That's where it first set down.
Okay. Well, that's a nice arm's length distance. Mine was 1,000 feet.
Yeah, I slept right through it. The next morning, I got up, looked at my phone, saw the tornado warnings. I was like, oh, wow. I looked out across the river. I could see all the lights over at John C. Tune. Then later in the day, I got all the stories and just realized how lucky I was.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Yeah. Well, I've got a video I'm going to put out, and I was just listening again to the audio. I started recording on my smartphone just the audio that I could hear when we realized there was a serious problem. And I did not realize until I listened to it later, way after the event, that I didn't even hear it then, but you can hear the tornado go through our neighborhood with that loud noise, not the wind noise, just a loud, almost like a aircraft going over the house.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, those things will just drop down on you. I've seen them. I've had friends that survived getting hit in a double wide trailer, and then it missed the house behind them, and it's just amazing how it hops.
Oh yeah, no, it was the irony of it. I say irony. I looked at the official path by the Weather Service, and as it was going over toward Cookville. And what's fascinating is for a couple miles prior to hitting those homes in Cookville, where 19 died, it was an F0 and an EF1, EF0, and then when it got close to that area that got hit first, it jumped up in some cases to an F4 for much of that path. It's unbelievable how it changed like that.
Yeah, I mean, you just never can
tell how one of those things is going to behave. But, yeah, I've got a friend, he lost a couple of planes over at John 16, but I think that's nothing. That's insured. Nothing compared to the life that were lost.
Yeah, well, that was big losses over at the airport, that's for sure. I'm glad it didn't. Actually, there was probably going to be more damage there than if it hit the Nashville airport because there's more planes sitting out.
Oh, for sure. But, planes and houses and things can be replaced. I'm sad for all the lives that were lost in it.
Oh yeah, no, I've read some of those accounts. They're just horrible. And you look at the homes where those, like I said, over close to Cookville, and they were, and you can see it. I mean, how would you avoid all the walls coming down and concrete blocks and bricks flying around and lumber and trees, and there's just no way that I'm surprised there wasn't more killed.
Oh yeah, like I said though, I had some friends back, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. They were in their double wide when one hit Charlotte, and that place was a disaster. Everything was gone, but they survived it, and that just was the hand of God.
Oh, I'd say so. Well, very good, Roger. I'm glad you didn't get in that path. I'm glad I wasn't in the direct path for certain. I did a little bit of damage, but nothing to, not much. We didn't have any people damage, and I had some roof damage, but that was it. And my antenna, of course. Appreciate you being there, Roger. Kilo November for Zulu Bravo Yankee over in West Nashville. Don, you still there? K4OFO, Donnie? He may have taken off. I think we had Jerry. No, Jerry was a relay. Bill, KK4W. Did you hang out long enough?
Hey, I'm still here, Paul. How's it going?
Very good. This is why, even on the normal nights, I rotate where we start because otherwise somebody's got to be sitting around doing nothing,
Well, I think a lot of people are doing that anyway by default these days. What a wonderful hobby to be involved in, right? Amateur radio. If we can still have that interaction with the human race, and it's just a wonderful thing, really.
Well, yeah, but now I keep my distance from the microphone.
Yeah.
Very good, Bill. Everything else going well for you?
Yeah, everything's going good. We just got all the people at work fixed in their home offices, and I was the last one out Friday, so hopefully we got out of there fast enough.
Yeah, my brother I talked to him yesterday, and he works for Hewlett Packard. He's a rep for them in commercial computer stuff. And I asked him about the travel. He goes, travel? He goes, number one, I can't even, the company won't even let me leave the house. They want me to stay home unless there's some critical customer issue, and that's by special permission only.
Yeah, that's a good company. I mean, if they're adhering to that, they're doing their part to prevent the movement of this virus around.
Well, he's got special problems because he's on immunosuppressants because he had that heart transplant a few years ago, and so he's at particular risk. And then he's got 3 kids and a wife living at home, and so they really can't go out because they could bring back stuff that would kill him.
Absolutely. My son was over in Europe when President Trump made the announcement they were cutting off Europe. He got back. He's in quarantine up in his home in Louisville. So far, no symptoms. It's been a week, so we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Very good. I'm glad to get back safe and without any issues with health. Man, what a crazy time we're living. That was Bill, Kilo 4 Whiskey Uniform. He's over in Possum Town. That's correct, right?
That's affirmative. Right over here near Friendship Christian School.
Yeah, very good. Possum Town, Bill. Well, his name's not Possum Town Bill, but it's KK4WU Bill. David, W4DTC, you still there? I think David took off. Is there any late check-ins, or we're going to move on to our net, or on to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net?
W4MUS, KJ4AXQ.
Oh, AXQ. Ow! Hold on, the dog just jumped up on my back. Hold on a second. Who AXQ? Who is this? Daryl?
Yes, it is. How are you?
I'm doing great, and then I'm still using the antenna. It works great. And forget your prefix on your call. I'm sorry.
Kilo Juliet 4.
Yeah, Kilo Juliet 4. Okay, very good, Daryl. Got anything good for? I heard some other people in there too, but hope you're doing all right. You and the wife doing okay?
Yep, we are doing fine. I've got her basically quarantined in the house because she is a type 1 diabetic, and got to go out to Walmart today. That was lots of fun.
Yeah, searching for food. You feel like you live in a communist country.
Oh man, I'll tell you, we put our order in, and it's really interesting what you can't get and stuff. But yeah, it was. I don't know how many are mil spec out there, but the decon days of the Cold War are coming back for me.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's kind of weird. The whole thing is weird. Just it'll settle out. Hopefully in a few days. I really do, because it's crazy. You can't go to the store and buy meat because everybody's hoarding meat. I mean, eventually their freezers are going to be full.
Oh yeah. Well, earlier you guys were talking about a Victorian collar. There was a joke about a picture with a dog looking at a human being with a Victorian collar on, going, "It's for your own good, not touch your base."
Yeah, very good. Hold on, Daryl. Was there somebody else in there who was trying to get in touch?
W4MUS.
Oh, Jimmy, what was up?
I was just wondering if you ever considered using NetLogger for the net, or I don't know, maybe that's overkill.
Well, I actually considered having somebody else keep track, because that's my only keeping track myself is kind of, I'm not saying it's a chore, but it makes an added duty.
Yeah, I figured there's some overhead with NetLogger anyway. I just thought I'd mention it. Thanks.
If NetLogger will do, it can recognize people's voices and log them in for me. That'd be great.
I don't think it's there yet.
Very good. Appreciate the comment, though. That's a good point. Yeah, I would like somebody else to do the login. That'd be kind of neat. My dog won't do it. So, Daryl, anything else for the net before we move on?
Nothing else. Just 73s, everyone. Be safe.
Yeah, very good. Well, good to have you. That's Daryl. He's here, Mount Juliet, Kilo Juliet 4 Alpha X-Ray Quebec, and appreciate him. He gave me this X700 replacement antenna after my other one busted. So I really appreciate it, and I guess everyone else on the net ought to appreciate it too. I got a good signal again. Didn't have any signal to speak of. Well, no, I had a pretty good signal with my old antenna, but it's not a very good antenna. Is there any other check-ins before we move on?
KR4AZ.
Hey, there you are. I was wondering where you went. You do make number 37 or 38, excuse me.
Keep going, you'll hit 40.
No, I don't think so. KR4. I got to make sure I write people down here. But no, that's I would have never expected that. But I guess that's partly the reason is people wouldn't necessarily check in if it was taking too long. But here we are at 9:22, and I need to move on. Anything for the nets here, Tim?
No, just well, I'm gonna say to stick around, but I've had errands to run today, so you got stuff to do. You got to do it. Nobody else gonna do it for you. So anyway, everybody stay safe. Enjoy, Paul. KR4AZ clear.
Maybe this is the reason they developed self-driving cars and taxis.
Probably so. No, you get on rest of that, man. Catch you later. KR4AZ clear.
Yeah, very good. That makes number. Let's see, that makes 37. That makes number 38. Very good. Any of our last chance check-ins, please come in. Got nothing. Okay, very good. We set a new record. Not that it's critical. It just takes longer. We had 38 check-ins. I guess the lightning round works pretty good. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, we want to move. Anybody think they want to buy, sell, swap, or swindle? They're looking for. Has anybody got anything to sell? Anything they want to buy?
Toilet paper.
Yeah, maybe we ought to have a toilet paper exchange on the black market. No, don't hear a word. So we're going to go ahead and move over to the sideband net, 144.240 upper sideband, closing this portion of the net. We'll be right there in a moment. K4PW. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey with the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Do we have any check-ins from, and again, my name is Paul, K4PEW. Check-ins, we're starting again from the south. Please come to. From the east end, please come now.
Echo forward, Delta Echo.
Very good. Got you in there, Earl. Who else east? Anybody else east, please come now. Anybody north, please come now. All right. I heard Frank in there. Who else did we have in there north?
WB0NOO.
All right, very good. Got Mark in there. WB0NOO. Anybody else north?
WE4E.
All right, sound good in there, Danny. WE4E. Who else north? Over to the west, please come on.
Number 4, Delta Juliet Tango.
Hey, good signal in there on the 2 meter side of sideband. You sound great. Delta Juliet Tango. That was Don. Who else we got in there besides Don West?
KM4YRF.
Now you sound good as well there, Michael. KM4YRF. Who else west?
KJ4AXQ.
KJ4AXQ. You had a deeper voice, a deeper bass on that 2 meters. Do you have a reason for that?
No, not at all.
Are you off frequency at all?
No, if I've written everything else is right on.
Oh, yeah, no, I just want to make sure it's just got a much deeper tone to it on the 2 meters. Who else is nice critique there? But that's what it was funny because it is low. You could hear it on the audio here at what time would it be? 25 minutes after the hour, so that'd be an hour and 25 minutes into the net. Near the end, who else is next, West?
Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo.
Excellent audio on that signal there, John. Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo over there in Bellevue. Who else is west? To the south? Okay, we got yeah, you guys are coming in late because I asked for south first, I think. Kilo November 4 Mike Papa Victor Terry, I got you in there. Who else we got?
KR4AZ.
KR4AZ, very good. Tim got you in there, good solid signal. Anybody else, Sal? I'm running out of paper here. What? Anybody else? Late check-ins, please come now. No more late check-ins to the Mount Juliet upper sideband 2 meter net. Please come now.
KB4RSM.
KB4RSM, got you in there, Glenn. Good, solid, nice audio too. It almost sounds natural on sideband.
Thanks. Yeah, I had the problem of grabbing the wrong microphone the first time.
Ah, okay. No, you sound good on this. It really, it almost sounds nearly FM.
Wow, thanks. Of course, your signal's always strong and booming in here, obviously, but thanks a lot, KB4RSM.
Yeah, very good. Anybody else late check-ins? Please come in. All right, very good. We had, I think I just counted 12 in here. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's 12, and we'll start, well, it's not really, yeah, it'll be from the bottom. Kilo Bravo 4, Romeo Sierra Mike, Glenn over here in Mount Juliet. Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu, Tim in Murfreesboro, and also in Murfreesboro is Kilo November 4 Mike Papa Victor. And Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, John over in Bellshire, or Bellevue, excuse me, Bellevue. Kilo Juliet 4 Alpha X-Ray Quebec, and that's Daryl over here in Mount Juliet, as well as Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Now he's in Bellshire. That was Michael. And November 4 Delta Juliet Tango Don in Bon Aqua, and Whiskey Echo 4 Echo in Hendersonville, and WB0 November Oscar Mark in here in North Mount Juliet or North Wilson County. I'm not sure if he's in the city limits. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo with Frank up there in northwest Mount Wilson County. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu in Noreen, and me, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. Am I missing anybody? And everybody could hear everybody on that sideband, can they not? I mean, tell me if it was somebody you missed. Got nothing. Sounds like good. 2 meters sounds pretty good on sideband. I'm very surprised at how good it works sometimes. And I'm going to close the net in case anybody has anything else to add to it.
Good job, Paul.
Oh yeah, busy job today. I can't believe we actually did have 38. Did you correct my count in there?
Oh yeah, 38 is correct.
Very good. That's a new. I had to beat your record. I had to pay some of these guys to show up. You know that.
I figured that.
Yeah, very good. We'll catch you later, everybody. K4PEW. I'll be over on FM here in a little bit. Have a good night.
Hey, Paul.
Yo.
K4MPZ, that new guy, I think he was